Welcome to our channel, $1 Million Made Easy. This channel was made to help you. After all, we're all on this financial journey together. All of us want to end up with a comfortable retirement, right? We especially don't want to work any longer than we need to. So if you can see your numbers worked out, it can greatly help ease that concern of where you might be financially. This is one of the many spreadsheets that we use on this channel. Again, our channel is $1 Million Made Easy. Let's say you're 35 years old. Say you've been able to save up 35,000. And let's say your current expenses are 5,500. What else do we need to know? We need to know how much you can save monthly. Let's say you can afford $350 a month. Now, what we do on this channel is rerun numbers for people. But we also need to know what your Social Security is. Now, if you go to Social Security Quick Calculator, plug in your date of birth, how much you currently earn, it's going to kick out a rough estimate of what you might be getting at age 67. So we need to know that number. Let's say you do that and it kicks out the number of 1900. Now, what we want to show you in this channel is just how good a shape you'd be in with these kind of numbers, folks. Also, don't forget to take into account Social Security. Something's going to be there. It may not be 100% of what you're expecting, but let's go ahead and run it this number right now, and I'll show you what we're talking about here. And what we do on this channel is we simply project ahead what summary returns might do for you as what they've done for the last 100 years with the S&P 500. They're not going to be exact, but they're going to give us a wide range of what may happen. So let's go ahead and show you how this all works. In this case scenario, 35 years old, retired age 67, that's 32 years from now. In the worst case scenario, let me go down here and show you, after a 32-year period for the last 100 years, that'd be returns from 1987. That would be the worst case scenario. Look how much you would have, folks. $1.436 million. Given these numbers, you would have put in 169,000. See that snowball effect? How it grew from 169,000 as you built this up to 1.436. Remember, folks, this is the worst case scenario in the last 100 years. This is using 1987 numbers. If we use the second worst set of numbers in the last 100 years, that'd be numbers from 1991. You'd have 1.49 million. What we want to do here, the median in the last 100 years, you'd have 2,018,000. That means 50% of the time you have less than that, 50% you'd have more. The best case scenario is 4.293 million. Again, this is this individual's numbers, but you can learn from their numbers to see just how, if you have the time, the kind of numbers they can grow to if you just get it in there. In this case, we have 32 years. Now, what happens if he wants to retire a little bit earlier? Also, what we want to do is we don't necessarily want to give the absolute worst and the second worst scenario because that's probably not going to happen. Let's just say what would have happened 90% of the time. 90% of the time, these would be the numbers going down through there. Again, what did we have before? We had 1.49 million. The second worst case, if we go back and do the worst 10% of the time, you'd have at least $1.63 million. Again, up to 4.293 with the median being right here. Okay, let's go ahead and say you want to retire a little bit earlier. Again, you're 35 years old. You want to see what would happen if you retire at age 65. We're going to be using the same numbers, but all these numbers are going to change. Now we have 30 years till retirement from age 35 to 65. Now the worst case scenario would be numbers from 1955. You'd have 1,080,000. Second worst 1952 numbers, you have 1,095,000. And 90% of the time, you'd have at least this amount, 1.284. Remember, we changed it to 90% of the time. So 10% of the time, you'd have this amount of money or less. Only in these worst two case scenarios would you be actually running out of money with this scenario. What happens if you want to go at age 64? Now the two worst case scenarios, the years are changing a little bit because it depends on which years you're looking at. Now we're just looking at a 29-year period. Worst case scenario, using 1956 numbers, running out of money at age 86. Again, this is the worst case. I always like to look at, 90% of the time you'd have at least these amount. And in that case, your money be lasting till age 102. What if you want to go at age 63? Now your money's lasting only till age 87. If we go to 62, which would be 25 years, 27 years from now, if you're age 35, your money 90% of the time it'd be okay to age 81, but 10% of the time it'd be less than lasting till age 81 or less, these being the two worst case scenarios. What could we do differently? If you really would like to retire at age 62 and aren't comfortable with this kind of numbers, especially these kind of numbers, watch what happens if we just increase the savings a little bit to $450 a month. Now it gets it up to age 88. Let's leave it at 350. Let's do one other thing. Let's increase this 350. Instead of increasing this to $400, let's just increase it $350 a month by 3% a year. Watch how this number would work 90% of the time. 3% increase each year gets you up to age 89. The median, by the way, will be half the time your money be lasting to at least age 97. But you see how all these numbers work? Depends on when you plan on retiring and how long these monies can accumulate. Again, if you retire at age 62, you don't get this 1900 increase by 2.5% COLA, which would be 3701 over the next 27 years. You only get 70% of that. So you would get this right here, this 5,500 growing at a 3% inflation rate over the next 27 years would grow to this kind of money. This is the kind of money you would need. This is the kind of money you get from Social Security because you're taking it early. This is what you need from your nest egg. And when you start taking those amounts, these are the kind of times that you'd be running out of money at age 89. But that's what we do on this channel. We can run all kinds of different numbers to give you some kind of an idea of where you might be. You really need to see your numbers worked out so they can greatly ease your concern on your financial planning. Again, everything depends on what your expenses are. These are the two key points. What are your expenses expected to be? You put it in today's dollars, and what's your Social Security going to be? We change any of these, and all these numbers change drastically. What happens if you only need $5,000 a month in today's dollars? Watch what happens now. Instead of age 89, how long does your money last? It lasts, in the worst case scenario, it lasts till age 92, and the second worst, age till 94. And let's just change this to 95. 95% of the time, your money would last till 101. But that's what we can do for you. Again, showing the importance of what you're going to get from Social Security when you take Social Security, but also your expenses. And if you can just increase what you're saving by a little bit, look what it can grow to. If we don't have that increase, again, just showing you some of the variables here, then your money's running out at 85. 5% of the time. Let's go back to 90%. I really like the 90% because that means 90% of the time you have at least these numbers and your money would last at least this long. Again, this is the median. That's what we do on this channel. We run all kinds of different numbers for people. Please consider subscribing. If you want me to run numbers for you, just put it in the comment section. I'll run numbers. Keep it simple to what I have here. Just your beginning amount, how much you can save monthly, what your age is, and what your projected Social Security is. Again, you can go to Social Security Quick Calculator. It'll give you a rough estimate of what you get at age 67. And all we do is simply plug the numbers in and see what the numbers might show, how long your money might last. It can give you real comfort knowing that in this case scenario, I don't have to be saving $1,000 a month to get to what kind of numbers. Look at this, folks. If we do go back to age 67, look at how much you'd have, even in the worst case scenario, $1.4 million. But do you see what happened if you just 5 years earlier? Then in the worst case scenario, you'd only have 673,000 saved up. Just those extra 5 years allowing that money to snowball. That's what this spreadsheet can show us, all these different variables, and we can run them for you. Again, please subscribe, please share, please like the video, and thanks so much for watching.